Thank you, gentlemen, for joining in. Heartiest congratulations for the IPO. Big
Thank you very
milestone,
much.
big achievement.
Thank you, Sonia.
New business. So, what is the core DNA of Unitech?
The core DNA of Unimec is, the sector wise, it's a high complex, high mix, and low volume is a slogan, what we have.
Sure.
To expand that, it means, we wanted to take up, a job or a kind of work, which has to give, good margin, high margin, high margin segment is a kind of DNA which we have inculcated, and from where it comes, only high engineering, high complexity, that is the sector we maintain in all this. You want to add something? You can.
No, I think you covered it well. I mean, at the essence, what we do is high complex, high precision assemblies. We happened to start it in tooling, but it's this capability is portable across tooling, nuclear business, defense, aerospace, and anywhere where you need, higher complexity, higher precision, turnkey systems. That's where DNA basically shows up.
Wonderful. It's very niche. So, what all sectors are you catering to?
So, like I said, one is aerospace. Aerospace forms about over 95% of our business. The next one is nuclear energy, also the oil and gas, that kind of energy, as well as semiconductor and defense.
Small defense also there.
All right. Wonderful. So, you have state-of-art manufacturing plants. So, can you give us more details on that?
Yeah, sure. We have two manufacturing facilities based at Bangalore. Two industrial zones, are there. Prominent industrial zones like Pina Industrial Area and Aerospace Park. These are the two places where we have two facilities. So, facility started in the organization started in 2016. And 2020 somewhere, we set up another facility in Aerospace Park. First facility is of 30,000 square feet with a 75,000 hours of capacity. Well, I'll talk to you on the capacity definition means what exactly.
Sure.
Second thing, the second unit which is in Aerospace Park, 2 acres land, close to 1,50,000 square feet with 1,75,000 emission hour capacity. We have. So while capacity explaining in terms of hours is slightly underestimating our capacity. So what I mean to say is like the capacity is much beyond hours. So it's not just machine that give us a capacity to do what we are doing right now. So it's a capacity is a combination of end-to-end manufacturer where engineering is also plays important role. Machining obviously, which I expressed in terms of hours, and there is a kind of special process fabrication. Special fabrication when you say like so here machinery is very less, but the hours of people time is important, and finally assembly. Assembly is the high complex high mix game. Assembly is the end very crucial thing where people dominance is more. So it is like in a substance of all this is the capacity. So yeah, but easy to say is hours, which is mission hours.
Excellent. Can you share recent? You have enjoyed highest EBITDA and PAT. So, can you give some financial reports?
Yeah. So from the 2016 to now, 8 years journey, leaving COVID year now. So most of the years now, the segment what we chosen, as is high complex, high mix, low volume segment, the tooling, aero tooling segment, which always has a good margins, because of its precision nature and complexity nature. So our EBITDA levels, are always more than 35% ish, kind of thing, and the PAT margins are more than 20 to 3%. So because of this complexity, we are able to enjoy this. In another word, the moment we step into high volume category, high product, too much volume category, like say the automobile, so those kind of sectors will dilute your margin, which we don't want to enter.
Also, one more thing that I want to point out is we are a first principles company. So if you look at it, there are many other tooling companies which are high mix, low volume. The reason we are able to, achieve this kind of EBITDA is because of our execution. Let me explain. We do right first time. If you are into high mix, low volume, you will have to be performing and getting things right first time. our right first time percentage is north of 90%, which means that the cost of redoing goes away. The cost, the time it takes to basically get things done is not elongated because you're redoing it. So this is kind of one of the very foundational reason for achieving this high margin.
Sure. Can you elaborate on your build to print and specifications? That would follow.
Yeah, so we have two models, which is build to print. Build to print is when the customer gives us their drawings and asks us to manufacture a particular assembly tool according to the drawing.
Sure.
And this is about 94% of our business. Build to spec is when the customer feels there is a particular stuff that needs to be designed. They know kind of what needs to be designed, but they how part the putting the design in place, then follow it by manufacturing is something that we do, which is about 6% of our business today.
All right. Okay. So can you give details of the IPO?
Sure. So the IPO size is 500 crores, consists of OFS 250 and fresh issue 250. The price band is 745 to 785. The anchor book is anchor portion going to be suspended on Friday, and issue opens on Monday 23rd to 26th Thursday, so 3 days. And the objective of this issue is fresh issue is towards capex, working capital, and debt repayment, and general corporate purpose. So these are the main this thing. Yeah, and the kind of institutional participation, or the HNI, or retail portion. So as we follow as per the SEBI, and which is anyway mentioned in the going to be mentioned in the ad.
Pardon. So Mr. Rajnikant, talk to us about your digital first approach.
Sure. Let me lay out the scenario, right? So I would say there are two complexities doing this high mix low volume, and we figured out a operating system to get to this digital first approach. At any point of time, we are looking at about 1,000 work orders. That is 1,000 tools, right? Each tool can be anywhere between 10 to 500 child parts,
Sure.
right? And you will have to machine each of these child parts, right? So each of these child part machining, there are anywhere between 1 to 10 different machining processes that you have to do, right? So at that machining process, you are looking at about 200,000 to 500,000 different processes that you'll need to monitor depending upon the volume. Imagine you having to do this with an Excel sheet, which we did for the first couple of years, and it was a big challenge.
Sure.
So we figured that the only way to solve this is going digital, and we built our own MES solution, which is a manufacturing execution system, where we hire our own software engineers and build the system. This has been instrumental in our scale. People see the numbers and stuff, but again, we are a first principles company. At any point of time, we are always looking at what are some enabling things that will scale it. This is on the execution side. So from the quote till the shipment, everything that we do is basically monitored in this manufacturing engines. In addition, this is also integrated with quality. So when my quality engineer measures each of these parts as part of different phases, they're able to measure it, and that measurement goes automatically into the computer without him having to clerically insert that. This reduces any kind of chance of error. And like I was telling, why right first time is very, very important, critical. We are able to do that by building this operating system of digital first and doing it. And we have more plans to add more capabilities into this digital system.
So if you ask is technology help you in growth?
Right.
Firmly will say yes, that is help. Back to 2019, when yes, customer support was there, more orders we are getting, but we felt almost like we can't grow this company because of the efficiency is weak. The technology has helped us to surpass that issues, and now as a promoter we felt like yes, I think Yeah, that's the reason. Like first 7 years, 6 years it took, to 100 crores to reach. 7 years it took. But 100 to 200 it took very fast. From there, it is good. So that, but the kind of headaches what we have seen in the first 3 years, we have not seen it when it moved from 100 to 200. That's technology helped us. So, yeah, so we are the only few manufacturers, perhaps I have not seen, but who heavily rely on the technology side.
Excellent. So you begin exports. So what are the key growth drivers?
See, growth driver always, there is one interesting aspect I would like to explain here. The growth driver is, while, segment wise, MRO tooling. Okay, obviously aero tooling segment, and second thing, precision parts, which is the next kind of segment we have taken up in 2 years ago. So growth driver for this here is how the macro industry perspective look like. Point number one, while we are, heavily into aerospace, so we'll closely watch, what how the demand forecast is for the aircraft and plus engines, accordingly. So the demand forecast should look like the base as of now is, say 22,000 aircrafts are flying, across the globe, different sizes. So it is forecasted in one of in the survey, even in the Boeing and Airbus, I think, maybe, seen, so it is around 45,000 new fleets getting added. That's the kind of demand, which globally, all of the countries, where 65% I heard, like, from the Asia, which is interesting thing. Like India is also going to buy too many aircrafts, which is interesting thing. Now, when it that results in number of engines into more than 1,20,000 engines. When engines are getting, engines requirement is there, engine OEMs, will line up their production. When engine OEMs line up their production, tools will come up, and when tools come up, that many suppliers are not there. So people like us will focus. And then when engine is sold to airlines, and airlines maintain, more aircrafts are getting added, airlines need more tools, and more airlines and more engines coming up, they need more number of MROs, and again tools required. So our growth driver is, this is the one thing. Second thing, growth driver is, like, the second segment we are into nuclear. Nuclear, the roadmap of India, if you see, India is marching towards, building up, mega scale nuclear power reactors.
Right.
The reason is, like, one is, green energy issue. Second thing, like, CO2 emission aspect, or, depending on the conventional dependency, like coal dependency, is difficult, for power generation. Maybe after 50 years, coal will not be there.
Yeah, yeah.
So nuclear green energy is important. From that point of view, like, billions of opportunities there in India itself, in terms of number of reactors that India is planning, as well as, first generation reactor, second generation, lot of things are happening. Now that is one next growth driver for us, where we are heavily focusing on that. Semiconductor, obviously, most of the OEMs, looking for, China plus policy in terms of, semiconductor industry. So India is heavily, focused. So these are the couple of things, we attracted us, and we are very keenly positioning ourselves into these segments.
Excellent. So you're going to utilize the IPO funds for geographical.
Yes, so considering this growth, the customers who are onboarded, so far, and each customer penetration, new customer, approach, and the global OEMs who are looking at, and people like us, considering all these aspects, we see, there's a pretty good opportunities for any manufacturers, and as well as us, so we wanted to capitalize that. Towards that, the capex expansion is happening, and, growth purpose, working capital required, so that's where the IPO money we are raising, 250 CR, towards, some of these objectives.
Excellent. So Mr. Rajnikant, what has been your leadership mantra?
Uh, it has been one that of lead by example,
Yeah.
and there's probably no replacement to hard work and resilience, and I feel these are very, very important things as you lead.
Super. So you have a unique story to share. So what are your final words for the viewers?
For the viewers is like, I always, go with, more my country feel I have, kind of, always, even the connecting, make in India is, inspire always, even when my leadership, style is also same thing, like, please connect ourselves, with India growth story, so that's the important thing. Like, now what I see, like, through, whether it is IPO or anything, like, it is important to that, the time has come to encourage entrepreneurs, for making India aspect, making for the globe, concept, so yes, technology IT side, India has grown very well, but manufacturing side we are weak, and more players has to come, and who are the players comes, they need to be encouraged. We don't want any government support or anything, like, so it's like, a kind of fair, recognition is enough, like, encourage us, and we will do the best, in for this country.
And be a part of the Amrit Card.
Yes. That's true.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Pleasure talking to you.
Thanks,
You wish you a
Ravi.
fantastic idea.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, viewers.